Hi, I'm David.
And I'm Mandy, and we're Memories Are Out There.
In today's episode, Maddie is back with us again, and we are ranking all 11 rides in EPCOT.
Yeah.
So in today's episode, we're not ranking any of the attractions, the shows, the 3D shows, or anything like that. Just the 11 rides. We're going to start right off with number 11, and each of us have not seen our lists, right?
Nope.
I don't know what you guys are picking at 11, and they don't know what I'm picking at 11.
Nope.
I'm assuming my list is correct, so we'll start off with me. At my 11th pick, we're ranking them obviously 11 to number 1. I'm going Mission Space for 11.
Okay.
I used to love this ride all the way up until like the last time we came down, or the time before, 2017. I would leave everybody in the mornings, and I would go to the park while we were visiting, and I would ride the bus to EPCOT, and I would get on Mission Space because I knew nobody else wanted to ride it, and I would get on it first. And the last time I did that, this was 5-6 years ago, I thought I was going to throw up on the ride.
Yeah, you got sick.
It was out of the blue. I just, and now I can't do spinny rides, the teacups, any of that stuff. I do them, but man, they make me sick.
Yeah.
So now I can do the on Mission Space. There's two different rides, two different
Green
versions,
and
right?
orange.
Which one's the easy one? Orange?
Yeah.
I don't remember
Orange.
that. Oh my gosh!
Orange.
But I do that now with Maddie, and we actually haven't done it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even want to test. I don't want to test the hardcore one again.
No.
So for me, we don't ever really ride it. So that's my number 11.
All right. You going next or me?
You.
All right. My number 11, you two are going to hate this, but it's soaring around the world.
Are you kidding me?
It scares me.
Oh my God. I told
The
you
last time we rode it, we were on the third row, so we went up first.
Yeah, so we were in A.
I had my
We were in A.
eyes shut, squeezed almost the entire time. It just scares me.
And the last time that Mandy rode it was Maddie's first time riding it. And Maddie, just a year ago, was afraid of Mission Space and riding things. And
Yeah.
now, halfway through that, her first time, her hands were off the handlebar grips.
And making fun of me.
And leaning across me, making fun of mommy.
Yeah.
I was still scared though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in A, if you're in the front, by the time it picks you up, I'm not sure how high it is. It feels high. It does feel high.
And I think it's the, jerking. And it's the screen. Just making you feel like you're actually that high. I don't know, man. It just
Yeah.
really messes with
Dude,
me.
when you're flying to the top of, Eiffel Tower,
It really messes with me. My eyes are shut, the whole time. So that's my 11.
all right, fair
I
enough.
know a lot of people are going to be like, you're crazy.
They're probably
but-
turning this off by now when you said soaring at the last place. I wanted to say that my list was going to be correct.
But I'm terrified of heights, so
Fair enough.
that's why.
Fair enough. All right, Maddie, what's your number 11?
It's Nemo and the Nemo ride.
What?
The seas with Nemo and friends.
That's your last place ride?
The only part I like it. The only part that I like it is when the end when they're singing the.
Oh, that's
the-
fun. That's a fun part.
But the rest of it, I kind of get bored.
Wow, that used to be one of your favorites.
Well, we've rode it a lot. And now she's doing all the big rides, so it's that's really boring.
And
I understand.
Nemo needs to be refurbished.
It really does.
I don't know if it's been touched since it probably...
There are parts of it that are always broken.
Yeah.
It really does need to be fixed. But I get it. It's a boring ride, and
It
she
is.
likes all these crazy rides now.
Yeah.
So
All right. Moving on to number 10, the Grand Fiesta Tour starring the three Caballeros.
What? That's your number 10?
Yeah.
Probably hurts his knees.
So, a couple things about it real fast. We ride it all the time. We rode it today.
Maddie
okay?
loves it.
We rode it today. That's one of the few probably that we almost ride every time. But ranking all the rides in EPCOT, I would put it at the bottom. At the end of the day, it's a lot of just TV screens, and you're just cruising around in a boat. I'm not tall, but it kills my knees. Just the angle of the little low seat, and the backrest are I don't know,
Just like
70
Small World.
degrees. It's just like Small World. And I love Small World, but I can't stand the boats. They kill my knees. Yeah, it kills me to put it there because we love Donald and we love Mexico. We were there today. But looking through the list, it couldn't pass. It couldn't go above any of the other rides.
All right.
Not saying I don't like it, but that's where it is on my list.
My number 10 is Mission Space.
Okay.
I hate spinning. And even though that orange one isn't... Shoot, for years, I didn't even ride Mission Space because it made me sick. And then when Maddie rode it, we rode the orange side. And then she fell in love with it. And we rode it constantly. And I'm like, oh... I still didn't like it because you can still feel it.
Yeah, you can still feel it.
I'm
It's
not
still
good
there.
with spinning. My equilibrium gets all messed up, and
Yeah.
I cannot do the teacups
She freaks out.
She freaks out.
I do.
Yeah.
because my head just feels like it's going.
Yeah.
vroom.
And I never used to feel like that. And it just, man, a flip of a switch as you get older. There's some point
Getting old
where spinning
sucks.
like that messes with you.
Yeah. So that's my number 10.
Fair enough. I'm not going to complain.
I was crying and shaking my first.
You were terrified, but then you loved it once you got off
Before-
and you realized you were okay.
Before you got on the ride, you were nervous because
Yeah.
you didn't know what it was.
My 10th is Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth. What?
That took Daddy a minute to realize what right you said.
Man. Between Space Mountain, Mission Space, and Spaceship Earth, we've rode them a million times. I still, to this day, I mess them up
Yep.
constantly. It took me a minute to register what you said. Seriously? Madison, I apologize for this list. 2/3 of it is wildly inaccurate. All right, explain why it's number 10.
Again, I find it boring, and it's like, once when you get to the only part like I enjoy is when you're going backwards and like you see, like your future story thing.
Oh, that's cool. The blue lights and everything.
Yeah, but like for some reason when I get to the top, I realize how high I am, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah, so every time we do ride it, Maddie's usually in my cart. Not that you're afraid of it, but when we get to the top, every time you're like, we're at the top of the ball. We're like 150 feet in the air. And you are.
And it's old, so like
And it is old. The
does a lot of
animatronics
creaking.
are old.
feels like it was just.
It was there. It was built day one. It was built. So it's old. It's higher up on my list, so I'll talk about it when it's my turn, but that breaks my heart. That breaks my heart. All right. Fair enough. All right, well, on to number 9. My number 9 is The Seas with Nemo and Friends. We've already talked about it, kind of like it's old. It needs to be updated or refurbished. But, like, the songs and everything in it, still, like, there's, it goes back to the cartoon. It still, like, is a special place. It's one of the, first couple Pixar films. Not one of the first couple, I lied. But it's up there.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's at number 9, not lower on my list. Every time we get on it, something's broken down on it. And the audio was terrible in it. At some scenes, it's really low to hear, and you get into the tunnel with Crush, and it's really loud. But it's number 9 for me. There's nothing special about it. It's an old ride. But it is a place to get in an air conditioner for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Because it takes a couple minutes for it.
All right, my number 9 is Spaceship Earth.
You know which one that is?
You two are killing me. That's one of the most iconic rides in all of Disney World.
It's iconic. It's boring. I mean, you gotta ride it. At least once.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything else means something to me more than Spaceship Earth does.
Fair enough. I can see where it could be boring. For sure.
But you're a history buff, so you love it, and it doesn't matter how many times you go through it. You love it.
Even though it is old, the amount of work that went into making that ride is awesome. And that's why it's still there, not refurbished. Because like so much went into it, it still kind of stands the test of time right now.
Yeah. And it is cool. Like when we first moved down here, Maddie and I first started homeschooling.
Right.
And we went through it, and I was like, hey, we just learned about that in history. And
It was the Phoenicians, wasn't it?
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep. And so, I mean, it's great. It's just, it doesn't mean as much to me as other rides
Fair
do.
enough. Fair enough. All right, Maddie, what's your number 9?
Living with the Land.
Living with the Land at number 9? That breaks my heart, too. Gosh. I apologize again, guys. This is not going how I thought it would go. All right. Why?
Because again, it's like boring now because I'm more into like action
Yeah.
rides or
Yeah.
something.
Like thrill rides and things.
But I still love it.
Yeah. Man. I get it. It is a boat ride that looks at plants and a couple animals. Not even animals, fish. I could totally see where it's boring. Oh, man, that breaks my heart. All right, I'm going to break your guys' heart. It's number 8.
Don't say it.
You ready?
I know what
My
you're going to
number
say.
8 is Journey into
I
Imagination
knew
with
it was going to be
Figment.
Figment.
Talking about a ride that needs to be updated as well. As much as I love Figment as well, we ride it constantly. That's one of the rides I get annoyed with after a while.
If we're going to meet David at EPCOT after work,
Yeah.
Maddie and I will go early so we can ride Figment before he gets there because we know he's not going to want to ride it.
I like Figment. It's just that, like, I'm so tired of that ride. Like, I wish they would update with a new Figment ride. It'd be awesome. But I like Figment. I like his...
Yeah. Whatever.
Wow. Well,
Sorry,
now you guys
guys.
know. Yeah, now you guys know how it feels. I'm not going to sit here and badmouth Figment. I just think there's other rides that are better there.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
My number 8 is Living with the Land. I love the ride, but again, there are other ones that I like more.
And that's fair. It is not a thrill ride whatsoever.
I do love it. I love
Yeah.
looking at all the plants and I love that section with the house and the dog barking
Yeah,
at
that's
you
really
and you
cool.
can see the garden grill. Like, I
Yeah.
do love it. It's just other things.
And I'll say, like, there's always at least one hidden Mickey
Yeah.
there. There's usually a couple. So that's really fun.
Yeah.
All right, Maddie. What's your number 8?
Say this one.
What?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, Maddie's number 8 is the Grand Fiesta Tour starring the 3 Caballeros. Wow. I thought that was one of your favorite rides. It used to be.
It's not a thrill ride.
Used to be one of your favorites, didn't it?
Hey, it made it to 8. I mean,
That's true. What are your thoughts on it?
It's fun, but like what you said, you're just looking at screens, but like it doesn't hurt my knees like how it does yours.
Fair.
So like I kind of just like chillax and lay back.
Yeah. We rode it today and you had your head on my shoulders for most of it. There's at least one hidden Mickey on that ride. I'm pretty sure I need to read that book. There's probably 5 or 6. But I know there's at least one that we look at every time.
yeah.
And actually, you missed it today. You forgot
did.
about it. Yeah.
Because I was recording them doing their band scene,
Yep.
and then I was like, "Oh, did I miss it?"
I'll give you a hint. At the end of the ride, there's all of the buildings painted on the right-hand wall. That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. All right, moving on to number 7. Time to break some hearts again. Frozen Ever After at number 7.
What do you have left?
It's another boat ride.
It's the
I'd
only
say
boat ride that I'll ride with a hill in it.
that is true.
It's true.
We'll get to pirates sooner or later. The animatronics are awesome in it. All the theme songs are super catchy. Everybody knows them. Has 2 hills, one little one going backwards, and then a good one going forward where they take your picture. To me, it's another boat ride. Eh.
You're lucky I ride that one.
You didn't at first. You wouldn't ride it at first.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mommy, what do you got?
7.
Number 7.
Nemo. He's only up this high because it's gotten crappy, but But the ride is up this high because we've always done it with Maddie.
Yeah.
Like, it's always been something we can ride with her.
Yep.
Now she doesn't want to ride it. It kind of breaks my heart.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're not going to ride Nemo?
Yeah. We still do.
Yeah.
Not often, though.
No.
Maybe once out of like every 4 or 5 visits we ride it.
Yeah.
But
that's the only reason it's up that high at 7, because
it has
holds a
nostalgia
place.
to you,
Yes.
right? Yeah. And that's fair. All right, Maddie, what do you got at number 7?
Mission Space.
Mission Space. Okay.
I like the ride. Just again, it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It is kind of like loud, like when you're taking off.
Yeah. And it's super old too. Like the screen is right in front of each person's face, and it's old.
You like pushing all the buttons and stuff. When the button's laid up,
Oh yeah.
you like hitting the buttons.
Yeah, those are old buttons too. Like that ride definitely needs to be refurbished.
When me and my friend rode it, she was the pilot and she's clumsy, so I don't know how we trusted her with being the pilot. It was like, click this button, pilot. She's like, where?
She was hitting the wrong buttons.
I was like, the wrong button.
Maddie's like, you're gonna crash us.
We were just screaming at the top of our lungs.
That's okay. That's fun.
They were like, our parents were like, stop screaming, and we're just screaming while it's like, we're gonna crash land, we're gonna crash land. And me and her were just screaming our heads off. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why it's my 7.
All right. Moving on to number 6. Are we at 6? All right. Living with the Land. I absolutely love the ride. It is boring. It is slow. It's by far not even remotely called a thrill ride. But I love it. I love everything about that ride. I love all of the plants. The amount of work that goes into the upkeep on that ride is constant.
Yeah.
The behind the what is it? Behind the Seeds tour.
Yeah.
We've yet to do, but I want to do it. Like
One
really
day.
bad. I totally see how it's boring to anybody younger than 30 probably. It's just like, this is really, we're just going around looking at all the plants and things, but I love it.
I even like going through the vegetable section and seeing them all
Yeah.
grow and
Yeah.
how they grow them.
Yeah.
It's neat.
It's cool. I love it.
And
Yeah.
there's many hidden Mickeys in there.
There is.
They aren't really hidden. They're in plain sight.
Yeah, they're out there. I mean, you could totally overlook them.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got at number 6?
Grand Fiesta Tour. I like it. Again, it's another ride that Maddie has always ridden.
Yeah, that was one, along with Nemo, that was one of her first rides constantly that we rode every time we
And since we've moved down here, like, she's always rode that one
Yep.
and wants to ride it. I
Yeah.
think it's cute.
It is.
I know, I understand it gets boring and it's not a crazy ride, but
Right.
I like it.
Yeah.
I love the balloon section. I don't know why.
That's funny you say that. Yeah.
But that is like my favorite. I want to touch them. It's so weird.
I'm pretty sure they're like hard porcelain or
I
something.
know. And I
right?
just want to see it. Like, I just, for some reason, want to touch it so bad.
Because it looks like a balloon.
Yeah, and the confetti everywhere.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Fair enough.
And the fireworks up on the ceiling.
Yeah, you can tell that it's old,
What's
but like
that called?
It's so creative.
That
It is.
fiber
it's
something.
the fiber optic.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see them all.
I remember when I was little, I know this is going back far, they used to have those plant things that did the fiber optics.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like
it
the
ju-
handheld things.
It just reminds me of
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
I always find myself recording those fireworks.
Yeah. All right. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Maddie. What do you have at number 6?
Test track.
Test track at number 6. All right. Why?
I only rode it once while we lived down here, and that was a few weeks
Yeah.
ago
Yeah. Now, you've rode it 2 other times,
when I was like 7.
but they were years ago, like 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just very recently got back on that ride.
Yep.
And you were screaming and laughing and having fun going around it.
I was scared too. I was like, "That's how fast we're going!" Because
Oh,
right
yeah,
before
yeah.
you went around the turn, it said how fast you were going. I was
Yeah.
like, "That's how fast we're going!"
Yeah, it was awesome. All right, so you have 5 rides that you like more than that? Yes. Okay. Let's move on to number 5, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. We have rode this ride. I feel like we say this all the time. Like almost every time we go, we try to ride Remy as well. Here lately, we haven't rode it as much, but
it's a
just,
long wait, so it also
is.
depends.
It is always a long wait unless we get our fast pass for it. But our lightning lane.
I was gonna say that's going back a lot.
I know.
Ways. Some people might not even know what that is.
I know. I love it. It's cool.
Every time we like get in line, like it always breaks down.
It has
does a
broken down
lot.
a few times on us while we've been waiting in line. Nothing is more like disheartening than standing in line for 30 minutes in a line breaking down, which is also what happens to us all the time on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. All the time. I'm a little surprised you guys didn't yell at me. I absolutely love Ratatouille. I love Remy.
Well, we're getting
The cartoon
to the end
is
here,
amazing.
so-
Another Pixar. All right, Mommy. What do you have?
My number 5 is Test Track. It's a great ride,
Yeah.
but I have other ones that I like more.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean that's the only reason it's down farther. We haven't. Maddie didn't ride it until recently, so
Yeah.
I've only rode it twice since moving down here.
Yeah, we haven't rode it that much. Usually when the three of us together, if Maddie wouldn't ride it, we just didn't ride it.
Yeah.
Or it would break down when we were gonna ride.
That happened at least twice
Oh, more than that.
while we were like walking to it from the other side, usually from Remy. It's happened twice, I think, coming from France. And you're like, okay, I'll do it.
But she's also like, ooh, I don't know if I want to do it
Yeah.
yet. And then the next thing you know, it breaks down. I'm like, how are you
Yeah.
doing this?
It
kid?
happens everywhere we go. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to ride it yet, and then we go to the bathroom or something, and then it breaks down, and I'm like, oh,
I'm good.
and then we leave
Yeah.
because like it ends up being the last ride that we're gonna ride.
Yep. All right, Maddie, what's your number 5?
Journey into Imagination with Figment.
Wow. Okay. All right. Journey into Imagination with Figment, huh? Wow. I'm a little surprised.
Well, it made it to 5.
Fair
five.
enough.
Like,
yeah, top 5. Okay.
We're getting to the point where all the good ones are coming up, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it.
I'm pretty sure we all have the same number.
She
one.
still loves it.
Yeah, you still love Figment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her and I still ride it almost every time we go.
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Figment ears.
If we get there before you.
Yes. All right. Let's move on to number 4. I'm going to throw out Test Track. So it looks like Test Track broke even basically for all of us.
Yeah.
Love the ride. It's even though they did refurb it a few years ago, you can tell just in like the braking system when it slows you down, it's like goosh, goosh, goosh. It's rough.
It is rough.
Especially the turns, like
The turns are rough. Super fun when you get outside. It's a blast once you come outside and start banking around all those turns at 50, 60 mile an hour. It's a lot of fun. I still feel like it needs to be updated for sure.
like when you go outside, there's like a little hill.
Oh,
and I
there's
was
a
like,
little drop.
I don't want to drop. I don't want
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, we're going down.
Yeah, I got nothing special to say about it. I like it a lot, and just because I think it's more fun is why I probably put it up over top of Remy. Yeah. It does break down a lot.
It does.
A lot. Moving on to number 4 for you, Mandy.
Figment.
Figment. Made it to number 4.
Yeah, because I love it.
And it
I
holds
love the
holds a
ride.
place in your heart, right?
Yeah. But I love the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so much fun. You're constantly the whole ride.
Yeah. Disney's very good about planting little theme songs in your head.
Yeah.
And the upside down house
Yes.
is cool. It is cool.
Figment's
Feels like
house.
the stuff is just gonna drop.
Right? It does feel
I
like it's
get
going to drop
scared.
on you. Yeah. All right, Maddie, what's your number 4?
Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
Ooh. Yeah?
It's so like creative.
Very.
Like when you go under the stove and it gets hot, like it's
Yeah. The water
crazy.
splashes. There's a lot of creativity in that ride.
oh yeah, like They put a lot of work into that.
They did. The carts are
Yeah.
fun. The 3Ds. It can make you nauseous at times.
Like, more towards the ending, like, where you're in the vent and, like,
Yeah.
that one guy's trying to get you.
Oh, yeah.
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 All right. Moving on to number 3. We're cruising right through this list. Soaring Around the World. Number 3 for me. It's like a rite of passage to get on it and get on the side of it. And then when it comes up to like the Eiffel Tower and stuff. The last time we rode it, Maddie, we were all the way on the side. It was only your second time riding it. You're like, why is the Eiffel Tower curved? Because it's like, it's got a huge banking curve in it. And it's just because the shape of the screen is like a half dome. So if you're not dead center of that screen,
That's funny.
everything's a little askew.
And, like, not only we were on the very end, like, we were on the very edge of that.
Yeah, we were the
Row.
first 2 seats.
And I wanted to sit on the edge. I looked down, and we were only on the third one, which is the lowest. And I was like, we're up
Yeah.
high.
Yeah, Maddie thought it was funny because that was her second time. And the first time we rode it, we were the number one, like, top few seats. But on this time, she could see everybody's feet in front of her. And she
We
thought it
saw
was
our
funny.
toes.
Everybody who wears Crocs or sandals just leaves their shoes on the ground because you do come right back to where you take off. It's just funny looking if you're not prepared for it. And even though like I know you can't see this if you're listening, but the top of your little roof above you, it comes down over top of you like at an angle, but it's just the angle like when the seats raise up to where you go up over the Eiffel Tower or something. Like you just see all the rows of feet just hanging.
B, like, on this side where we were,
On the
all-
left side, A.
yeah, A, all you saw were literally feet
Yeah.
with, like, no shoes or socks. Like,
Yeah.
except for the very edge where I was. They were wearing shoes, and then the rest were just toes.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Mandy, what's your number 3?
Remy. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure.
Yeah.
I was just sitting here thinking, though, maybe I should have swapped that with Figment, because it does make me feel sick sometimes.
Yeah.
It must just depend on the day. Sometimes I take my glasses off.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll give you a headache really quick
Because
sometimes.
I'm like, ooh. Yeah, so
Think-
I probably should have swapped that with Figment.
Yeah.
Or maybe something else. But I do love it. It's a good ride. I love the little rat carts. They're so cute.
Yeah, they're cool.
It's fun. It's just sometimes it messes with your head.
Yeah. And also the ending, when the very last room, when you're coming away from the dinner tables, they have like the Christmas lights as they're lighting, but since you're shrunken down the size of a rat, all the Christmas lights are like huge.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Maddie, number 3.
Frozen Ever After.
Frozen Ever After, number 3. Totally. I get it.
Mm-hmm. The first time riding it was, again, with one of my friends
Yeah?
that actually lives down here. And it was fun.
Yeah.
I was next to you and her.
Yep. And you finally got brave enough to do the hills. You did it years ago.
Yeah.
But you freaked out on both hills. That was 2019, I think.
I think
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did not like those hills.
We have a lot of fun memories on that ride because we brought so many family members on
We
that
have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ride. Like
we have.
Granny. she had the best reaction.
Yeah. Everything about that ride is cool. Like the queue, like walking in and you're inside and the forest and all the buildings and everything. That is really neat.
It is. I just wish they'd changed the faces of them. Like, actually make them a face instead
Yeah.
of that
Screen.
projection
It's
onto it.
there's a projection. Yeah, so it's a cool animatronic all the way up, and just the face is a screen. Honestly, if they just shaded it a little different color,
Yeah.
but it's like it's just two different way too different shades of
It's
skin.
very noticeable.
Very.
And I guess it's not just the end, it's every time you see them.
Yes.
I think I said at the end, but it's
Yeah.
every time you see them.
Yep. The
But,
human
yeah.
characters.
I love that ride.
Yeah.
All right, Maddie. What number are we on? 3, right?
That was mine.
Maddie just did 3.
Oh, that was yours? I thought that was
2.
yours. Oh, my God.
Top 2.
We're ranking 11 rides. I get confused.
Top 2.
Number 2. Spaceship Earth. Absolutely.
He's a nerd.
You're just calling him smart. You're complimenting him.
No.
No,
I didn't call him smart.
It
I
was
called
not
him
a
a nerd.
backhanded compliment. It was a backhanded insult, is what it was. Absolutely love Spaceship Earth. Everything about it. I love that it's old and it's classic, but it's not like where you get on Nemo and it's like, oh my god, you can tell like it just needs to be updated. Mission Space, kind of the oldness kind of fits in with it being just about history and everything. I love all the animatronics.
You're just a Mission Space. There you go, messing
Did I
up
say
again.
it again?
Spaceship Earth.
Oh my god, I apologize. I'm getting old.
God, you are getting old. It's bad.
Spaceship, did I say Spaceship Earth was my number 2?
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay, jeez. Spaceship Earth.
Madison, we were doing one the other day, and Daddy was supposed to say parasol, and he said parcel. And I didn't say anything at first, right? Because I was going to let him finish talking and then tell him I couldn't stop laughing.
Wow.
I said parasol, parcel.
Wow. Wow.
Anyway.
I love it. I love it. And it's almost always a walk-on within a few minutes.
Every now and then, it's a pretty long wait.
Wasn't today.
What did it say, Maddie? 25 minutes?
25 minutes. The whole thing was full, and they were waiting outside of like where you walk in to get into the line.
Right where you walk under where it says the time. The line was wrapped all the way through its queue and then out past that. And it was like, 25 minutes. We're like, I don't think so. But it is a short queue. There is no queue once you get inside. Once you get into the ball,
You're there.
You're on the ride.
I will say, because I know I ranked that very low. The one section, I think it's when Athens has fallen and it's burning or something. Is that Athens? Greece. Okay. The smell of the fire.
Oh, the embers.
It's so strong, but for some reason that smell just instantly takes me to Spaceship Earth. Like, that's the smell that I associate with Spaceship Earth.
Yeah. And it is super strong.
It's very strong.
You come around that corner, it's like, woohoo.
But, like, I'm okay with it for some reason. I'm like, oh, this is the ride. Like, we're always talking about smells on the rides, and that one is the smell for that ride for me.
And that's one of the things that does set Disney apart. There's certain smells in a lot of locations that it's like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Which one we were in the Grand Fiesta today. And we were like, oh yeah, there's that smell.
Yep.
And it's different smells too.
It is. And it's in different sections.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Maddie.
Wait, I didn't do mine.
Oh no, I skipped you. Man, we gotta wrap this thing up. I'm falling asleep.
Are we on 2?
Yes.
Okay. My number 2 is Frozen Ever After.
Okay.
I like this ride a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know why I go through it with a smile on my face every time. Well, that happens with most rides, but I have fun on this ride. And I like doing our picture because you do the funniest faces now. And I don't know. I like this ride a lot.
It is a lot of fun. It ranks 7th on my list, but I'm smiling every time too. Olaf gets you smiling every time, for sure.
And the trolls, they're so cute.
Oh, and the trolls. Yeah. All right, Maddie. Is it Maddie's turn now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maddie, number 2.
Soaring around the world.
Soaring around the world.
Can't believe it. I kept looking at this going, what in the world is she missing? Like, wow.
I'm pretty sure we're all going to have the same one.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
we have the same number 1.
Yeah.
I think most people that are listening or watching this would have the same number 1.
Yeah. So Soarin' made it all the way to number 2, huh?
Skipped all of these like within a day.
That's
With
awesome.
all those rides that we've rode over and over and over. You get on Soarin' and all of a sudden it's like boom.
Boom. Number 2.
All the way to number 2. Mm-hmm. You like it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you finally rode it.
Yeah.
So I don't get on it with them anymore.
Nope.
Now I rode it the one time with her and I'm good. I'll sit outside in that little tiny little waiting area and just chill.
Yeah.
I'm not riding it.
Do you have a favorite scene on it? Hard to remember all the scenes?
The China one scared me because like you go down and then up.
Oh, the Great Wall?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cause like the last part where like you transition, you go down and then up.
Yeah.
It scared me and Mom the first time that I rode it.
The elephant throwing the dirt up. You can smell the dirt.
Yeah, it's cool.
It is cool. There's a couple of different smells on that ride.
My favorite scene would have to be the EPCOT one.
Oh, at the very end, you come back to the.
To Florida.
You're coming across the parking lot, going towards Spaceship Earth, and somebody gives a surprise visit there, right?
I know this one, and I rode it a couple of
Do you know
times.
Tinkerbell? Remember Tink comes up?
Yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love Soarin'.
Number one.
Number 1. 3, 2, 1.
Guardians of the Galaxy. I am so happy that Madison finally rode this ride.
Took a little while because it's indoor and like we didn't really want to show her videos or anything.
And
because,
honestly,
like,
after the first time we rode it, I was like, she can't ride that.
It's way
She
too
can't ride
fast.
that.
Then I rode Hagrid's.
Yeah, and then you rode Hagrid's, and I'm like, well, you can ride anything. Like, I absolutely love this ride. It still scares me. I get on it, I get nervous, but I know I'm going to have fun, so it's okay. It still scares the crap out of me. There's one part when I probably shouldn't even say anything, but there's one part that gets me a little dizzy, but it goes away pretty quick.
Which part?
I don't know. I know we're going backwards at some point,
Okay.
and it makes me dizzy. I couldn't tell you where it was, but I know I'm screaming and just having fun, but I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, your cart, it's one of a kind. Your cart can move 360 degrees, but it doesn't randomly spin you around. Like, it aims you towards what you're supposed to see.
And music.
Best ride ever.
It's
It's the best ride I've ever been on.
I'm going to probably say it might be my favorite ride on property. Maybe my favorite ride of all.
I think it's my favorite ride on property.
Yeah, it's up like Hagrid's is way up there.
I like Hagrid's. It scares the crap out of me. Guardians beats Hagrid's for me.
The first time the first time we all ever rode Hagrid's, the only people with their hands up were me and Dad.
Yeah.
Dad was clapping and I had my hands up.
I was like, just don't have a stroke. Don't have a stroke.
He was laughing nervous.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Hagrid's one time.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Guardians.
Guardians is every time I get on and I get off, I do get a little bit of headache because it's a rush, and I think it's just a rush of adrenaline. Man,
it's crazy.
I am laughing and smiling that entire roller coaster.
Too much to take in.
You're going around the moon. You go around the Earth. The LED panels are like they're strategically placed perfectly. Everything about it is super smooth, and the launch when you first come up and you go
Don't
around
talk
that.
about it.
Just
in case people haven't rode it.
You go around that U. It's like a U-shaped room, and then you end up facing what you think is backwards because your cart's turned and faces backwards, and that screen that wraps around the entire room. It's like we got to jump through the wormhole backwards or something. And it goes, oof, and it's like
just
backwards.
Amazing.
And it's boom launch, and it's a long launch too. Like it launches you, and then you go up a hill, and it's still you feel the G-force still pulling you up the hill faster and faster.
That might be when I get dizzy. I don't.
It is amazing.
What do you think about it?
It's too much stuff to take in. You got music, your cart's turning, you got screens to look at. You're like, and you're riding a roller coaster. It's like half of the time you could be singing the song and you don't even know it.
Yeah, and there's six different songs. I think there's multiple different songs, and
you have to ride it more than once.
We've never got the same song twice yet.
I don't even know. I don't even pay attention to the song. I'm just having fun. I couldn't even tell you. We get off that ride and you're like, what song was that? I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know. I didn't even listen. I heard music, but I couldn't tell you what it was.
Absolutely love it. That ride has ruined Tron. Like we've talked about before. If Tron would have came out first, we'd be like, dude, that was kind of cool. You ride that, then you go ride Tron. You're like, Tron's for, like, that's a kid's ride.
Right.
But man, I will ride Guardians every chance we get. They did just start putting up the umbrellas outside for the queue, so hopefully here soon they take away the virtual queue, and you can just go get in line now.
Yeah.
Because they still don't have that, and it's been open for a little while now.
Yeah, you can now. I'm pretty sure buy lightning lanes for it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got up this morning. So we went to Epcot this morning. Well, not we didn't go this morning. We actually went around lunchtime. But we were going to go if we got on Guardians.
I got up late. By 7:18, the 7 o'clock virtual queue was already closed.
So within 18 minutes, because it opens at 7, you don't have to be in the park.
No.
Right? The queue opens at 7, and it was gone.
It was
by
gone.
7, within 18 minutes. So it does open up again.
At 1. But you have to be in the park. Everybody who's going to ride it has to be in the park.
Yes.
And
For the party that you're booking.
honestly, I've gotten that one a couple of times.
Yeah,
But every time that we've rode it, it's been at the 1 o'clock one that we get.
Yeah. If you get it right at 1, you'll ride it soon. But
No,
if
you won't.
No?
It's still going to take you till 6,
Oh, okay,
7,
never
8.
mind. I'm mistaken. Yeah.
Which is why we didn't even try today.
Yeah.
Because we knew we weren't staying that late.
Right.
So we didn't even try at the 1 o'clock. You like it, though? I was so proud of you when you got on that ride and got off of it.
I remember we were circling, I don't remember what part. I think it was we were circling the moon or the earth. And the music's so loud and there's so much like going on with your senses. I was trying to tell Maddie, like, look what we're going around.
And I'm just sitting there singing.
And you had your head turned because your cart had turned, and you were like looking to see where we were going to go next, because that's the person that you are. You want to see what's coming instead of what you're supposed to be looking at, which is fine. You want to know if we're going to do a flip or something. So she was like trying to like keep her head on a swivel to see where the track is, to see where we could go. And it's so loud, I was screaming. I was like, look what we're circling, look, because it's awesome. And you you missed whichever one it was. I don't remember if it was Earth
I saw the
or
Earth and Moon. I think I only saw like some of the moon, so it must have been the moon. 'Cause
Okay.
I like looked back at the last second.
Okay.
But I was like looking and like singing the lyrics. I don't remember what song.
I don't. Yeah.
We got so turned around at one point. When we had started, you guys were behind me.
Yeah.
And then when we were in the ride, I was looking this way thinking that you guys should be that way.
Yeah.
And you weren't. You were over here, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. Well,
I
we
was
started
so
that.
confused.
We started that ride with you behind us.
Yeah.
I thought I was in front of you guys.
No, you were
Remember?
behind us with a lady, right? Or no, a kid. You were with a kid.
Yeah. 'cause we
Oh,
were
well, maybe
behind
that's
someone.
why.
We were in front of you. No, but you still got messed up because you thought we
Then I
should be in
looked
front
this
of
way
you.
and you
Yeah.
were back here. Yeah. Yeah, it was so messed up.
It's awesome. It's the coolest roller coaster and concept for a ride, man. And the queue, the line. There's 2 rooms or 3 rooms. I don't remember.
I think there's 3.
Yeah, I do too. Even the very first, when you first walk into it, the ceiling, the huge dome ceiling has like projections and stuff on it.
Yeah.
We don't ever like stay in there because like you finally get in and
Oh, wait, maybe
you
it's
run right
2.
past that room.
Oh, yeah.
But the big circle entrance room, it's awesome.
I was looking up at it the whole time.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it's changing, and then there's all the like the models of the ships.
Yeah.
Those things are so awesome.
And their outfits and
Yeah, their outfits. And then you actually get into the 2 like loading rooms.
That's a line you will not get bored in.
Dude,
No.
there's a show.
Yeah,
There's
it's
too much
awesome.
stuff to look
Things
at.
disappear.
And they
characters
have
come. It's
Yeah,
awesome,
they have
dude.
screens where they're doing like a news
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
and they're on there talking. Yeah, it's awesome.
At one point, all the walls disappear in the one room.
Daddy's just giving away all the secrets.
Well,
You're not going to know
well,
what I'm
they're
talking
gonna
about. There's like
click
4 rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should know better if they clicked on this video.
Yeah.
They knew that we were going to explain the ride.
Maybe
We're talking
you
about
should
the
say
rides.
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. At some point, the walls are going to disappear on Guardians. That's it, man. That's the top. That's our ranking of the rides at
11
Epcot.
rides. Yep.
That's it. If you guys like the podcast, please follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. If you'd like to support the channel, Patreon and PayPal.
Remember, memories are out there.